What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David, and this video is going to be the long-awaited part 2 of my shadow work series. So this video is going to concentrate on the actual techniques of how to do shadow work. Let's get going. Now, if you are completely new to shadow work, then please go back and watch this video, Shadow Work for Beginners. That's going to give you a nice foundation on what shadow work is, as well as the proper outlook and viewpoint toward shadow work. As I mentioned, this video here is going to be the techniques on how to actually do shadow work. So I'm going to go through the steps on how to do shadow work, and make sure that you stick around to the end, because the very last technique is pivotal in creating lasting change and breaking those shackles from old trauma that may be holding you back. As I mentioned in the last shadow work video, we have to be cognizant of how we look at the word heal. We don't want to look at the word heal as needing to fix something, because as soon as you start looking at something within yourself that needs to be fixed, you're at the same time saying that an aspect of you is broken. And when there's an aspect of you that is broken, obviously you're going to disapprove of that aspect. So anytime you're disapproving any aspect of yourself, that is a form of self-hate. And it's also a form of self-duality, because you now have an approved aspect of yourself and a disapproved aspect of yourself. And we've all heard the cliche, a house divided against itself cannot stand. So what do we do? Well, the way that we heal trauma is we raise the vibrational frequency of that lower vibrational pain, hurt, and trauma, and integrate that into your more higher dominant vibrational frequency. Now, did you catch the key word there? Integrate. So that's the key to healing. We want to think integration and not separation. And we want to bring that pain, that hurt, that trauma out of the shadows and sit with it and be fully present with it. We want to get to know it. We want to have a conversation with it. We want to ask, what are your fears? What are your concerns? We want to step in its shoes and look through its eyes and find out what is its belief system, what is its view on life. And this is how we become present with it and change the belief systems of that trauma and pain. So first, we need to stop and identify what is triggering us. Now, this could be a recent triggering event, or you might have a particular incident from childhood in mind. And even if you don't have a particular incident from childhood, once you quiet your mind, you may be able to see the correlation from the recent event that triggered you and the childhood event. And this is one of the huge benefits of quieting the mind in meditation, because you're able to get that insight and make that correlation and see repeating patterns that you may not have otherwise seen, because it was lost to the distraction of everyday life. So now that we've got that quiet time set aside, you're sitting here, I want you to go grab a glass of water. And I want you to place that glass of water in front of you wherever you're doing this exercise, and leave it there for now. We'll come back to that in a minute. Now, what I want you to do is imagine yourself at the age when this particular trauma or pain took place. And this is going to represent the child you, the child self. And you're going to sit this image of yourself as a child in your lap. And you are going to play the loving parent or the responsible adult that was actually needed back then to make this memory not such a painful memory. And as I mentioned earlier, we want to be fully present with this feeling. So look at the child version of yourself and get to know what is going on. What do you feel? What is the feeling that you feel? What happened? What are you afraid of? What do you feel that you needed back then so that it didn't turn out as painful as it did? Who's to blame? Why are they to blame? Do you feel like what happened altered your perspective on life? And if so, how? What is it that you want me to know? And this allows you to really look through the eyes of your child's self and have a conversation from the observer mind as the loving parent. Now, as the adult, I want you to stop and think about the last time that you felt this same emotion that you're now sitting here with as your child self. And notice the correlation, not just between the behavior, but is there also a correlation between the person that may have triggered this recent emotion and with how the parent or the responsible adult may have acted back then? And do you continue to call in the same type of person that may have acted in the same manner that the parent or the responsible adult acted back when you were a child when this traumatic event happened? This allows you to start putting repeating patterns together so that you can heal and integrate, raise that lower vibrational frequency up into your more higher dominant frequency so that you stop attracting the same people until that particular trauma is healed. Now, as the adult, I want you to explain to your child self, as the loving parent, a different perspective of what may have happened. Explain it from the adult perspective. Maybe there was some financial turmoil happening in the house at that time when you were a child, and there was some arguing going on between the two parents and the parent that may have caused that trauma to you. It wasn't about you specifically. They were just having a bad day, arguing, or maybe that parent had just gotten laid off, or maybe that particular parent was grieving a death, or maybe the parent abused drugs and alcohol, or was just a toxic person in general. But the point is to release that blame from your child's childhood self. Release that blame, release that guilt, release that shame. Let all of that drop and fade away, and realize that it was not about anything that you did wrong. It was just the result of an out of alignment parent or adult. You've got to remember that from age 0 to age 7, you were still in the emotional body. You were reactionary. You hadn't developed your mental body yet, your logical body. And at that age, you weren't able to logically conceptualize any reason beyond yourself as to why certain events were happening to you that may have been painful. But now as an adult, obviously you can. So now you're able to be that voice of reason and give your child self a different perspective and viewpoint of what happened. Now what I want you to do is change the ending to that memory. We're going to get in and we're going to alter the memory. I want you to think of that memory, and I want you to think of how you would have liked it to turn out. How did you want it to end? And then I want you to see that ending filled with love, laughter, safety, gratitude, and let those emotions of love and joy and happiness and gratitude flood over you while you're thinking of that altered memory, that altered ending. Now, this is definitely the most painful part of shadow work, because opposing frequencies can't share the same space. So when you bring up trauma, you bring up pain, and you meet that pain with the opposing frequency of love and gratitude and joy and happiness, there is going to be that emotional battle. And this is why a lot of people shy away from shadow work, because it is a painful process. But if you stick with it you eventually get that release of the pain and the release of the hurt. Why? Because the higher vibrational frequency of love always wins. So go through that emotional battle, sit with the pain, don't judge the pain, don't judge yourself, don't blame yourself, don't shame yourself. Sit with it and let those feelings of gratitude and joy flood over you while you're thinking of the altered memory of how you want it to turn out. And this is going to be the emotional part of it, but it's going to integrate that lower vibration up into your higher, more dominant vibration. Now, I want you to do this exercise daily until there's no more negative charge around that memory, or at least there's no longer, when you're throwing love and gratitude on that memory, you're no longer getting a feeling of resistance. Instead, you're getting a feeling of peace. Now, peace is more neutral. It's still not the highest vibrational frequency of love and joy and gratitude. So keep doing it until that particular memory, the altered memory, gives you instant love, gratitude, safety, and joy. Now, I do want to make the disclaimer that this exercise is not meant to discount or discredit that childhood trauma in any way, especially if it was something very serious. But at the end of the day, if you're holding on to it, you are making that a part of your identity, whether consciously or subconsciously. If you're holding on to that, that is a part of your perceived self-identity. And it's your perceived self-identity that creates the reality that you experience and creates the repeating patterns that you experience. And even if you use that trauma to strengthen you and to build you up and to get you to where you are in your life right now, even if you go back and change the memory of that trauma, that's not going to negate the strength that you gained from that trauma. So why not let it go? Remember, that memory or that event sprouted branches that went into all kinds of different directions that is affecting your life now as an adult. Don't fall into the trap of, I'm paying off some karmic debt and, all of this, and that's why my life is that way. No, don't fall into the trap of things you can't even remember or really have no true knowledge of. Take responsibility of this life now. Face that childhood trauma with love and gratitude, and those repeating patterns will stop coming around because they no longer need to. Now, remember that glass of water that was sitting in front of you? I want you to grab that water and place it in your lap where your inner child was sitting. And I want you to close your eyes. And now I want you to visualize the soul of your child self as the water. And I want you to put all of your love and your gratitude and your joy and happiness into that water, while also thinking of the altered memory from childhood in that water. And I want you to visualize that water just glowing with absolute white light energy. It's packed with your love and your gratitude and your happiness and your joy, while thinking of the altered memory as well. And it's just glowing with this white light energy. You see this golden glow, and I want you to put it to your lips and whisper into the water, I love you, thank you, I love you, thank you, I love you, thank you, I love you, thank you. Say it 4 times, and then drink the water. Now, and your eyes are still closed, while you're drinking the water, see and feel that white light energy of love and gratitude and joy just permeate every cell, every fiber of your being, crystallizing your cells, changing your aura to this golden white light that expands 12 feet radius around you, where only love can exist. And you're sitting and you're basking in this energy of absolute white light energy, absolute love, absolute gratitude, absolute joy, absolute happiness. And sit and bask in this energy of healing, love, as long as you need to. And then whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Now, remember to do this daily. Doing it once is not going to create a lasting change. This is super important to do. So if you need to carve out some time out of your busy schedule, maybe get up an extra 20 minutes early, do what you need to do, but do it until when you think of that altered memory, you are instantly flooded with love, joy, and gratitude. And those repeating cycles, those repeating relationships will stop showing up in your life because they no longer need to. Okay guys, if you like the video, then please like the video. If you found value in the content, please click the subscribe button. And also remember, I do take questions over on IG, so feel free to ask a question over there, _Lightways. Now, I did get 2 very interesting messages over the weekend asking for personalized videos, and I thought that was an excellent concept. So I thought about it, and I added an extra section to the website where I will make a 30-minute personalized video addressing you and your specific spiritual stumbling blocks. So if you're interested in that, just go to lightwaysfam.com, link in the description. Go to the one-on-one coaching section, and there's a new section there, personalized videos. So I am doing that now. And also remember to click the link in the description for your free 30-minute guided meditation on abundance. And again, remember, if you have Gmail, the meditation will be under the promotions tab. And also click the link for the blog. And I believe that is it. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.